Hi, my name is Madison Campbell, and I'm here to talk about the ongoing and current issue over gun control in the United States of America and how to address such a controversial and sensitive subject that appeals to all the citizens. Do you own a firearm? Would you feel safer if you did? How about if someone broke into your house? What if they put a gun to your head? That is evil work done by evil people. And evil exists so much in today's age because too many people, they stand by and do nothing. That's why I believe we need law-abiding citizens with guns. Now, I've never had a personal life or death experience that I can explain to you, but I do know that a small church in Colorado Springs has. There was a tragic incident where a shooter would determine the fate of the lives of many young men, women, and children, until a security guard named Jean Assam stepped in. She gave no choice to the shooter the moment that she pulled her armed weapon out against him. Many claim that by having Assam there as a threat to the shooter, it stopped the killer from going after more people on those exact church grounds. Assam saved the lives of those who could have been attacked just by showing the shooter that she had a gun too. Many people believe that if we just banned guns altogether, that the country would be perfectly harmonious. However, I believe that is not the case. Watch this video clip by Urban Carry Holsters to see.
I carry a gun because there are only two types of creatures on this planet, predators and prey. No one watches a cheetah chase down a gazelle and deny that the gazelle has the right to use its horns to protect itself. But there are people who would deny that same right of self-defense to other human beings. Such people seem to think that the way to stop the cheetah is to cut the horns off the gazelle. That somehow, if you make it easier for the predator will simply go away. It doesn't work that way. If you make it easier for the predator, you get more predators. I carry a gun because when predators know they're less likely to have an advantage, they're less likely to be a predator.
Urban Carry Holsters says that firearms are used up to 300 times more often to save innocent lives than to commit a murder. Guns prevent up to 2.5 million crimes in the United States every year, often without a shot ever being fired. Now, people do not carry a gun because it is a weapon. They carry a gun because it is a shield. Take Mrs. McKinley, for example. A young woman home alone with her baby boy, defenseless. Or maybe not so. Miss McKinley was smart and had her own licensed weapon to shoot at two men who broke into her house one late evening. Gail Trotter, who wrote an article over the news story, quoted Miss McKinley when she said, "It was either going to be me and my son or him. And it definitely wasn't going to be my son." Generally speaking, women are automatically at a disadvantage to men because of size and strength when it comes to attacks. That's why 200,000 guns are used per year as self-defense by women. Trotter says in her article that guns reverse the balance of power in a violent confrontation between men and women. Guns, they arm and defend women who are at a loss of power. Many people abuse that power of an armed weapon instead of using them for their intended purposes. However, the majority of these individuals have mental health issues. Urban Carry Holsters says that in the last 50 years, 3 out of every 5 mass shootings were committed by someone with prior signs of mental illness. Donald Trump says that mental health is the problem here. A very deranged individual, a lot of problems over a long period of time. This is not a gun situation. This is a mental health problem at the highest level. I have to say that I agree with Trump. It is not the guns that do the killing. I recently did a survey over gun control in the United States. I had a total of 284 participants. My survey included 7 yes or no questions and 1 open-ended question. These were the results for the 7 questions, and As you can see, most answers agreed with the topic that gun control is an issue and that we should reinforce current gun laws along with allowing people their right of the Second Amendment. However, the open-ended question did leave a broad spectrum of answers, which I had assumed would happen. The question was, what do you think a solution to our so-called gun problem might be? Many answers were none, and on the other side of the spectrum, many said background checks would solve it all. One group of people claimed that banning rifles and semi-automatics would help. But only 2% of all homicides are committed with a rifle, and the percent is even lower for assault rifles. So why should there be a ban on rifles but not knives and scissors, which are used in 17.4% of homicides per year? Regardless of our Second Amendment, the idea for our country seems to be set on stricter gun control, involving banning semi-automatic rifles. This blatantly pushes aside the fact that in other countries, strengthening gun control has already resulted in failure. Going back to the survey, there was one answer that stuck out to me. It is a mental health issue, a public health epidemic. One person in the study claims, "I believe that we have a people problem. There's a certain percentage of the population that will always use violence to get in their way." They agree that the issue is the people, not the guns. Guns can't be the problem because they cannot fire themselves. An article writer named Jacob Davidson shows the world the unique fact that gun-related crimes mostly occur because of people using guns to kill themselves, not because they want to use the gun to murder others. Davidson says there are twice as many suicides in the U.S. by guns as there are homicides, and I think most people find that very surprising. One of my survey takers agreed with Davidson through the response that you are most likely to shoot yourself than someone else if you own a gun. This further shows the crazy that could potentially inhabit mentally unstable people when they own a gun. Although there is always the chance that a gun could get put into the hands of the wrong person, that doesn't mean that our Second Amendment, our rights, can be taken away. The first 10 amendments are a part of our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, written by the founding fathers of our beloved nation. These amendments were made for a reason, to protect our freedom. I am a JROTC cadet at the Woodlands High School, and a high school with over 4,000 students and over 200 cadets in my corps. I am given the opportunity every day to safely shoot air rifles in a restricted and protected zone. There's a range officer and a team commander there for security. I shoot because I love it and because it is my talent. Our team has been nationally qualified for the past 8 years, and we work hard for that to not change. Having the option to do something that I love in a highly sheltered setting is something that I will never take for granted, and I should not have to worry about that right being taken away from me. Urban Carry Holsters explains the importance of the Second Amendment sharply by saying, "I understand what the Founding Fathers knew about our Second Amendment, that the right to bear arms is in place to protect the people from those drunk with power. I understand every country was free before it wasn't. I carry a gun because our Second Amendment of having the right to bear arms gives the citizen of this great nation a fighting chance against the predators of greed and power, whether in our home, our capital, or our neighboring lands. The Second Amendment is our human right." Now, we do not have a magic solution for our so-called gun problem, but what we do have are our rights, and that is something I believe cannot be taken away from us. As for a resolution over the topic, I used to believe that there was none, that there was nothing we could do as a country. But now I see that, yes, there's no drastic change that we can make to solve this issue in our country, but there are still small things that make the world a difference. For example, educating teenagers at a young age before they turn 18 would easily lower the crime rate of guns at least a little bit in the country. I understand that the people in this country want to blame something, anything, such as semi-automatics, but instead of pushing blame on something that does not deserve it, What we need to be addressing is violence. Violence is behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. Some people in this country do not understand right from wrong. Those people initiate violence. Those people partake in violence. Those people are the violence. What I'm trying to say is, guns do not kill. People do. Thank you.